have the thing on the bottom of our boat that like scans everything and never fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
And we just got like my mom got
We're officially recording too, by the way.
Okay. They got like a really nice Garmin one. And it's still like there's no fish. So I'm like, all right, I actually like fully trust it now.
That the machine tells you that there's no fish.
But like, there's nothing's gonna attack you. Like unless it's like a snapping turtle.
Yeah, agreed.
I feel safe. There's been one time we were getting bit though when we were putting the dock in. There was like a catfish or something that was biting like all of our toes. It bit like 4 of us. It was crazy.
That is the worst. I remember when I was in Canada, hiking with some people, we went to Algonquin. I can't say that. There was a snapping turtle that was no joke the size of that couch cushion. It was the
awesome.
biggest turtle I've ever seen in my life, and it was like, it looked like a dinosaur. It had to be like 100 years old. This thing.
Wow.
And I did not want to go swimming anywhere. And I like this thing will take my leg off.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Call of the Wild Man?
Yes, that was a great
That was like,
show.
or Turtle Man.
Turtle Man.
Yeah, those guys are both.
That guy was the best. I loved him so much.
So funny.
There were so many good shows. What was his line? What would he say all the time?
Yee. Live action. That guy?
Live action.
We say that all the time.
The first time I went on a hike with Matt and Sam, that was the line they kept saying to each other. And he had one more. I forgot what he kept saying, but that guy was the best.
Every time we're like with my cousins, there's always one line or 2 lines that we're always quoting. Like last week it was "Get up here, let's dance." Yeah. We just did that for like everything. It's so funny.
Yeah,
I love random stuff like that.
I know, seriously. So it's the best. All right, good. Sound working? Alrighty. Let's crush a pod.
Crush a pod.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm John.
I'm Lizzy.
And this is Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. Second time reader!
Yikes. He'll get it eventually, folks.
No, I probably won't. I'm just kidding up at this point.
T-minus like 5 episodes or something.
Yeah. Then we have 5 including this.
You had it good in the middle.
I know. I was like crushing it in the middle, and then my mind has gone blank.
Gone.
I'm getting old.
Old age. It happens. Oh, you know what I was thinking when I was listening to the podcast? You were talking about this app, like Marco Polo or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that just like millennial Snapchat? Because you're like, you can send videos, and it's like so cool. It's like, okay.
No, it's like, it's pretty much that. It's only video, so you can't like text or anything like that. So it's just simple communication. It's like a jitterbug version. You know what a jitterbug is?
No.
Jitterbug? Oh my gosh. Jitterbug used to be this phone, and it essentially had 3 buttons on it to help old timers like acclimate to cell phones, because cell phones were coming out when I was like, a little bit young, and they didn't.
What's a little bit young?
Like 5, 6. Like they were coming out, but like I remember in high school, everyone that like still had flip phones. No one really had an iPhone yet. 2007 is when the iPhone came out, and a few friends when I was in like a senior in high school had it, but most still had flip phones or like
Yeah.
And they had this phone for seniors that just essentially had like a call, home, and like a 911 button. That was
crazy.
It was like the only 3 buttons that it had. It was
like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, it was literally like a walkie-talkie.
That's so funny.
It was the greatest phone ever. Well, look at that jitterbug.
I had like an old phone before I had an iPhone. Because I think our thing was like you can't have Apple as your first like technology.
Really?
Like you have to have a bad laptop, and then you have to have like a bad phone, and then you
that.
can get like a nice one, and then in case anything happens.
That is like, it's like my family.
But yeah,
stuff.
I had like some off the Verizon store shelf thing that was really bad. People would make fun of it. I was like, guys,
I love that. You gotta embrace it.
Can't do anything about it. The camera quality was like so bad.
Yeah, it's like a potato.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I had a bad phone, bad car, and you get nicer stuff when you're responsible. Anyhow, we're in chapter 20, which is Xenophilius Lovegood. How do you like Xeno?
I really, really liked him until he like sold Harry, essentially.
Yeah.
I thought he was so cool. I was like, I think I said, oh, maybe they need to go to see him. I don't remember.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. So then I was like excited that they were actually gonna talk to him, and I felt like he was being a good character.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, wait, is he Imperious? And then all of that went down. I was like, no, he's just, I guess he just wants Luna more than anything. But still, I wouldn't have made that decision, I don't think.
Yep.
Because Harry's like the hope of the world, you know? Why sell him just to get your daughter back?
I am gonna be his apologist right now.
No, yeah. I know.
I know he's the hope of the world, but that's your daughter. Like, I mean, I just have a niece, and I would sell anybody for my niece.
Nice. Yeah. No, I feel that. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that my dad would like do everything to protect me. So, I don't know if he would like sell one of my best friends though. You know, he would think on that decision. It wouldn't be an impulse. On that,
and then he'd probably be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, then he'd sell him.
And he's also put in just a weird position too. Like, he's already lost his wife. He's about to lose his daughter, and he's about to have to live with that. So I would do anything to keep him safe.
Luna's room with the paintings on the ceiling with friends going through them. Oh, she's
you find that
sweet.
Really? You find that really sweet?
Yeah. I think it's creepy. Like a little... Yeah, it definitely is a little creepy. Like, if I went to my friend's house and they did that, I'll be like, whoa.
All right. Yeah.
Time to back away. But I don't know. It is kind of nice when you know, like, someone has no friends and that you're, like...
Yeah.
That you are, like, giving them happiness and, like, hope in the world, you know?
That is why I really love Ginny, too, because I feel like Ginny is a true friend to Luna.
Yeah.
And, like, the other trio right now, they're, like, friendly with her. Luna thinks they're friends a little bit more than they think they're friends. But I don't know. I feel like Ginny's her true friend, and like, yeah, someone who doesn't have any friends have friends like that is great. And Luna's like the coolest. Like, why wouldn't anybody want to be friends with Luna? And
I think Ginny like actually just accepts her for how she is, and then that's why they're like such true friends. Yeah. But also, Harry, Ron, and Hermione just know deeper friendship than their friendship with Luna. Yep. Where Luna might not know any deeper friendship than what she has with all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is good. People need to do that.
But you would, like, what would you, so you were talking about that, but what would you have done in Zeno's position? Would you just have, like, what would you have done?
I would have just said, hey, Luna's trapped right now.
Okay.
She's no longer with us. But then I would be like, why do you want to know about the Deathly Hallows? Like, where is this leading you? Why do you care? Or he seems like he knows even more beyond what he shared and then ran downstairs really quick. So I would try to, like, feel out the situation more. And then I would probably just be honest because I would want to help Harry Potter. Yeah. I don't want to sell him to the Dark Lord and have everything end.
Honestly, it's a great point why he's not just more honest, because it's not like his room is bugged. It's bugged when he calls Voldemort and they come in and they, like, you know, try to get information from him. But it's not like they're listening into this conversation right now. So why doesn't he just be honest? Maybe it's just his panic response. Why not just be like, hey, Harry, they took Luna. I can't tell you a lot of other information. I have to keep printing this. Like, I'm going to slam you, but, like, I don't really believe it. But I need you. Your priority has to be to get my daughter back. I was like, if my daughter dies, then, like, you know, I have nothing left. So I feel like he should have just been more honest with them, and that would have solved a lot of problems.
I think if they talked about it too, Hermione could have come up with her plan.
Yeah, agreed.
Because she came up with that in 2 seconds in complete chaos. Yeah. So if they had just, like, laid everything out and was like, okay, what are we going to do? She might be able to think of that and be like, let's let him have a glimpse of Harry. Yeah. You'll be fine. We'll escape. Yeah.
I agreed, because Hermione's a great plan comer-upper with... Plan. She's a planner. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, not much else happens in this chapter, but they just kind of meet Zeno and they kind of go over some basic info. You have anything else in this chapter?
The taboo of the name.
That's how it is.
Comes up.
Right?
That's so smart. Like, he's really playing into their hand, I guess.
Yep. Because I think you were pretty close on that. I think you said something, because you were talking about the trace I forgot exactly what you said in that episode, but I think you came somewhat close to it.
I was thinking that she had the Muggle trace on her, and that was like she had her wand, and it knew she was a Muggle because she's on like the list or something. Yeah. But I didn't associate it with the name Voldemort.
I know they are brilliant to bug that name because really, Harry's like one of the only people that ever uses it.
How do you even do magic on a word that's coming out of someone's mouth?
That's a great question.
And then you just apparate to it like that.
That is a great question.
It's wild.
Magic.
And I feel like I was understanding the importance of wands a little bit more. Because last time I was like, it'll be fine.
Yeah, right? Not fine. It ain't going to be fine.
He can just pick up another wand. But this chapter educated me a little bit about how important it is to have a good wand. And then the whole Deathly Hallows thing with the Elder Wand, finally that came up. Yes. So I know a little bit more about what that is.
Yeah, the Tale of the Three Brothers. Let's go into that chapter.
But wands are important.
I know. Tale of the Three Brothers, he just gives the tale of three brothers. Beetle the Bard. What do you think about this whole tale? And like, walk me through your understanding of the Elder Wand right now.
Well, first of all, I would totally be on board with what he's saying. I would fully believe him.
Okay.
And I'd just be like, okay, this makes sense. Things are lining up. But Hermione wasn't like that at all. But what was your question? What do I think about the Elder Wand?
Yeah.
I think that's the vision that Harry was having, like Grigorovich taking that.
Yeah. So do you think that it has more power than other ones? Is this thing real? Or is this thing, I mean, it seems to be real. They're hunting this. But is there real power behind it? Or is this wand just like any other that they just have like, a legend behind?
It could be like placebo. Mm-hmm. But I think not.
Okay, so it's real.
I think it is powerful because just like the history of the wand, I think it shows more than just like a lucky serum type of like, you just believe in yourself and you can do extraordinary things. So I don't know. A part of me kind of wants to still think it's placebo, but if this whole story about death giving it to him is real, then it's a very powerful wand. And assuming like Dumbledore had it or somebody had it, I don't know. If powerful wizards have it and want it, it's clearly like something that they feel they need that's beyond their own wand or their own power. So that also is kind of pointing to it being.
Who has it? Where is this wand?
I guess Grigorovich, that guy who jumped out the window.
But he's dead.
Is he though?
So Grigorovich wasn't the guy who jumped out the window. It was Grindelwald.
Oh, that's what I meant. Grindelwald, sorry.
Grindelwald jumped out of Grigorovich's office or window.
Because Grigorovich is the wand maker, right?
Yeah, wand maker. Grindelwald is the dark wizard.
So Grindelwald has it.
Okay.
But then is Grindelwald this like skeleton man that's like curled up on the floor later in the vision?
Yeah.
It is?
The skeleton man? Wait, which chapter? The Malfoy Manor chapter?
Yes, I think it's in there. Cuz Voldemort's like he's in Voldemort's mind, but he actually does. That's okay.
Yeah. That is Grindelwald.
So he probably doesn't have the wand if he's like with him and
he's curled up. He probably doesn't.
Yeah.
So
where is
the wand?
Great question. No idea. Where would Grigorovich put it? I don't know any places that pertain to him in particular off the top of my head.
Okay. We'll come back to this. You'll find out literally very quick.
Very quick.
Okay, there's some good lines in this chapter as always. And there's one that it starts off. It says, "There once were three brothers who were traveling along a lonely winding road at twilight. Midnight, our mom always told us," said Ron, who had stretched out arms behind his head to listen. Hermione shot him a look of annoyance. And then after this story, Zeno says, "We are talking about a cloak that truly and really renders the wearer completely invisible and endures eternally, giving constant and impenetrable concealment no matter what spells are cast at it. How many cloaks have you ever seen like that, Miss Granger?" Hermione opened her mouth to answer, then closed it again, looking more confused than ever. She, Harry, and Ron glanced at each other. And Harry knew that they were all thinking the same thing. It so happened that a cloak exactly like the one Xenophilius had described was in the room with them at this very moment. Is Harry's cloak the Hallow?
Yeah, I
Really?
think so. Because that's the only real one we've encountered.
Yeah, we haven't really seen. We've seen some other ones, like Moody said he had an invisibility cloak. We never seen it. But yeah, this is the only real one we've encountered.
It talks about later how Dumbledore took it from his dad.
Yeah?
I don't completely understand that. But that also makes me think that's the real one if Dumbledore took it.
Why do you not understand that?
I don't know. I just need to like reread it or something.
Is it why would Dumbledore take that?
Like what was happening? Like James had it.
Yeah, so you initially thought that Dumbledore took it so James didn't sneak away a little bit. So like almost like just being parental and just making sure he had temptation removed. But yeah, James and Lily were hiding. They were hiding out. And Dumbledore came and just took the cloak, or like asked James to borrow the cloak for a little bit. So Dumbledore could have been using it because he thought it was valuable and could have been using it for his own thing. But Dumbledore did say early on he doesn't need a cloak to make himself invisible.
Yeah.
So why would he take the cloak?
I don't know. I thought maybe that Voldemort was after the cloak and not Harry, and like he wanted to collect the Hallows.
Oh, okay.
And then Dumbledore took it out of the house, like just in case he got it. But
do you think that Voldemort is after all the Hallows?
Yeah.
Where's the Resurrection Stone?
It's either the ring.
Okay.
Or I thought it was the Sorcerer's Stone at first, and then they brought up the ring, and I was like, oh. Because is a Horcrux a Deathly Hallow at the same time? Because then it's like, did you destroy the Deathly Hallow? Like, is that bad? Now you can't have like their full power of like the trio things combined.
Okay, it's a great question.
Because the Sorcerer's Stone was like kind of in my mind the first thing that popped up. I was like, oh, boom, we got the Elder Wand, which is like arbitrary to me still, the cloak, and then the Sorcerer's Stone is like the stone that brings you back to life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess maybe they could be wrong about it being the ring, but I also don't want to be like that dumb.
Yeah.
But it is like confusing how it's both at once. But maybe he didn't even know about the Hallows at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like he definitely does want them. Like, why would you not if you can beat that way? Or maybe like Harry needs them, and then Harry can defeat Voldemort.
I mean, according to your estimation, he already has one. Who's gonna win in this? It seems like there's some kind of race to get to the wand.
Yeah.
Not fully, but like, who is gonna get the wand first? I remember you said Harry a while ago. Do you still think Harry?
I think Harry. I think that's what's gonna happen next. Is like the quest to get the wand.
Because Harry's essentially out of a wand. He doesn't really have a wand anymore. He has like a crap wand that he's using, but he doesn't really have a wand. And he needs something in order to defeat Voldemort, so this could be the natural step to get there. It'd be great. Which of the Hallows is the best?
The wand.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, why?
Because it's like, duh.
Really?
Yeah, why are you going to take the cloak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love the wand. Like, the Resurrection Stone is the one I wouldn't want. The people in my life who I've loved have passed away, but that's not what I want. But it's tragic that Harry thinks that this is the most valuable one, because like I think, for people who have lost a lot of people in their life, like I'm curious what Luna's answer for this would have been, like if she would have wanted to see her mom again or something like that, or like people who have really experienced a lot of loss and death when they're young, if they would all choose the wand or not, or if they would all choose the stone or not.
Yeah.
But I would probably choose the cloak. But the wand would be a very, very close second. I love the idea of the wand.
I was gonna guess that you picked the cloak or the stone, but I don't think you like romanticize death enough to choose the stone.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, he's taking the cloak.
Yeah.
And then you're not like combative at all.
Yeah. I'm a very non-conversational person.
Yeah.
So that would help me leave.
You just literally hide.
Leave parties really early, you know.
And I thought you would like the generational like aspect of you can give the cloak to other people and like it's not just for you, but you can give it back.
Like the wand you give to other generations and it becomes even more dangerous. The cloak, there's a lot of less danger behind it.
Yeah, because the wand is like something that you have to protect. Like if it gets into the wrong hands, obviously it keeps getting stolen from people. So yeah.
Interesting answer that you would take that.
I don't know. I just feel like I would. I don't know how much I would do with it, but
yeah,
I would have it just in case.
Yeah, exactly, for a little rainy day. Anything else in this chapter? What did you think of Hermione's getaway plan?
Genius.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah.
That's literally in my notes. Hermione's genius.
Yeah, she is. She's brilliant.
And I feel like having Ron back in the trio, like, he's kind of just, like, I don't want to say, like, dumb, but he's just, like, going along with the plan and trusting. And I feel like that's a very integral part of this little section of the story is, like, you need somebody to have, like, the dumb trust to keep going forward, because if it was just Harry and Hermione, it would be, like, much more divided, and I don't know what they would do. But then Ron is just like, yeah, let's do this, or like, this is my, like, I know this story. And I feel like his I can't think of like a good word, but his just like, I guess, innocent like trust and just like, let's go kind of thing is actually helping a lot.
He's got the good aura. Yeah,
but like, he doesn't know what's going on. That was my other thought. I was like, if me and Ronald were down to save the world, we would not be doing a good job, because I'm equally as confused as this man. But I really like Ron.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters in the whole series. He's like the glue guy for this whole, all of them. Like, you know, Hermione and Harry are smart. The movies portray Ron as a lot more of an idiot than he is in the books. The books, he's like, you know, he's not an idiot. He's smart, but he's just like, he cares more about keeping them all together.
And he's like still trying to appease Hermione.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Was the invisibility cloak a factor in all of the other books whenever he faced Voldemort? Like, has the invisibility cloak saved him every time?
It has saved him no times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the first book, he didn't have the invisibility cloak. Second book, he didn't have the invisibility cloak at the end. He's used the invisibility cloak to get him past certain things. Yeah. But he's never like faced Voldemort with the invisibility cloak on.
That's good.
And I wonder too what the like legitimacy of that is. I wonder if a dude wore the invisibility cloak for his whole life, if he would evade death or not.
Yeah, like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because death doesn't need to find your physical body. It like needs your soul, you know?
Yeah, right. But maybe the invisibility cloak is so good at hiding your soul as well. I don't know.
That's why you can't get hit with curses, because it's just like... But I was wondering, maybe Dumbledore didn't tell Harry about the Deathly Hallows because it would be like enticing to be all powerful and like be able to defeat everything. So that's why I was wondering, like, if the invisibility cloak has already saved him so many times, like, how much greater would his desire and his trust in the Deathly Hallows be for like completing his task of killing Voldemort?
That's an interesting point. Okay. So Dumbledore isn't telling this because he knows, does Harry struggle with power?
Yeah, I feel like it was one of those Lockhart things where you put it in front of you and be like, don't be this way, you know? Like, he didn't want Harry to see the Deathly Hallows and either depend on them when he's trying to kill Voldemort or just, like, take them for himself. Mm-hmm. I don't know that Harry would do that and just become, like, all-powerful, brutal person, but it was a thought.
Yeah. So this is some of the discussion in the next chapter, which is like these three chapters just go hand in hand with each other. The next one is the Deathly Hallows, and they kind of just discuss and talk about some of the Deathly Hallows in that one. But if Dumbledore wants Harry to figure this out, is he just making it difficult for him so that he catches the weight of it. Like, walk me through that again. Because if he's trying to make him defeat Voldemort, why wouldn't he just be like, okay, you have to go look for the Deathly Hallows? Because he told him about Horcruxes. So, are Hallows the way to defeat Horcruxes? If Harry is going to search for one, what should he search for?
Oh, I didn't even think of it that way. I guess the wand could do magic that you can't undo, maybe.
Okay.
And then you could just zap the rest of the Horcruxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it was don't think you need to depend on this type of thing.
Okay.
But I don't know how to answer your question that well. I think, because you can't destroy a Horcrux with the cloak or the stone. And then the magic in the wand has to be a certain type of spell, I guess, that you can't undo. Yeah. So Hallows do not destroy Horcruxes.
Yeah, doesn't seem like Hallows.
Just the normal magic that you can use that wand for.
Yeah.
And is the prophecy the prophecy's 100% about Voldemort and Harry? It's not the Hallows and the Horcruxes or something where if the one exists, the other can't.
Okay, that's a phenomenal question. So this is what it says, and this is Harry's conundrum. And he saw himself, possessor of the Hallows, facing Voldemort, whose Horcruxes were no match. Neither can live while the other survives.
Yeah.
Was this the answer? Hallows versus Horcruxes. Was there a way, after all, to ensure that he was the one who triumphed? If he were the master of the Deathly Hallows, would he be safe?
Mm-hmm.
So is this potentially talking about the Hallows rather than Harry and Voldemort?
Yeah, because I was never 100% sure that the prophecy was about Harry and Voldemort, but I had no other options to pick from other than just good and bad in general, or I don't know. Who was the other kid? Neville. Yeah. And he didn't that's obviously not going to happen either. But this to me is a more concrete idea that I could be oh, maybe it is something like that. Because Harry's thought there makes sense that if he has the Hallows and then he tries to kill Voldemort, it's Harry's not going to die. And I feel Dumbledore also is giving that vibe of there's life after you kill Voldemort. You're not going to be the one to die. So maybe that's also why you don't want to give him the Hallows, because then he could have it for the rest of his life or something.
Okay, do you think that the story has legitimacy as to you would actually evade death if you had these objects? Or is it false confidence?
Is that my hair?
No. I don't know. I think it's, I want to say Kaylee's hair. It's just a blonde hair on this pillow. Well, I picked your hair off of that blanket before.
Yeah, I'm a big shedder. What was the question?
I don't remember now. Is this tale actually true? If you have the Hallows, will you evade death? Will you live forever?
I don't understand how that would work, but I believe yes.
But so you don't understand how that would work.
That it seems like a fairy tale to me. No way that's real. But in this story, I'm yo, for sure, that's what we need to do.
Yeah. Is it more so it'll help you evade death? Not maybe not the ultimate death, but it will help you evade death and no one will be able to defeat you. Is it more so talking about that?
Being the champion or something?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that what they say? The victor over death, the conqueror. Yeah, that would make sense.
Good answer.
Instead of eternal life.
Yeah, instead of the Philosopher's Stone made the elixir of life, and that made the person essentially live forever. Which is a question. I mean, this is leading into another question for what is Voldemort really looking for? Is he looking for all three of the Hallows, or does he have use just for one of them? Because maybe he views this as not a way to fully live forever. Maybe he views this as, I need this wand, and the wand is going to defeat Harry Potter, and my Horcruxes are going to keep me alive forever.
Yeah. I like that idea.
I gotcha.
Yeah, because he already has living forever checked off the to-do list.
Yeah,
it's just now I need the most powerful weapon.
Yeah.
Get Harry Potter out of the way, that's it.
Because he would never want to use the Resurrection Stone. I don't think he cares about the Resurrection Stone.
What's the nuance of the difference between the Resurrection Stone and the Sorcerer's Stone?
The Sorcerer's Stone keeps you alive even if you were on the edge of death. Well, the Sorcerer's Stone is a stone that turns all objects that it touches into gold, and it creates the elixir of life, and that keeps you alive forever so long as you're drinking it. One of my friends, one of my other friends, who was trying to read this for the first time, Abby, who was originally season 2, was saying that it shouldn't be called the elixir of life. It should be called the elixir of a very long time, because you have to keep drinking it in order to survive, and if you ever run out, then you are dead. Which is a fair qualm to make. The resurrection stone is an object that just raises someone from the dead.
So you have to die first to use the resurrection stone.
Yeah.
How do we know like Voldemort didn't already do that?
We don't. It's a fair point. It's a great question. It has Voldemort.
How do we know Dumbledore didn't do that? And he is.
That's a great question.
He's on his second life.
That's another great question.
That's why he knew where it was. Yeah. Or he had the ring. Is the ring in the snitch? I don't know.
The ring in the snitch.
Isn't that does anyone think anything's in the snitch, or they just don't even know?
They just don't even know.
I still picture the snitch opening at the close.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever the close is, we're definitely we don't know anything about the snitch. We just know that it says "I open to close," so we don't know where the ring is.
They were saying though, like, isn't the ring in the snitch, right?
That's what they potentially think. Harry is like looking at the snitch, being like, "How do I get it out of here?"
Yeah.
But they have no idea.
Huh.
Harry's not like shaking it around, like waiting for this thing to come.
Yeah.
Do you think they're right or wrong? Do you think the snitch is holding the ring?
I don't think the ring is in the snitch. Okay. I don't know. It feels weird to me. I just think it's probably just a Horcrux and it got destroyed and then it's just gone. But like, there's no story of when that would have happened.
Okay.
In terms of like Dumbledore dying, but it could be anywhere in his office still, I guess.
And did Dumbledore did he want I mean we kind of already talked about this, so let me just skip that question. Harry talks about this as well. He says, but before we hear says sorry, Lupin says this. When they're on the radio, they hear this little radio program, which is kind of nice. They get some familiar voices and faces. And then Lupin says this. I tell him we were all with him in spirit, said Lupin. Then he hesitated slightly. And I tell him to follow his instincts, which are always good and nearly always right. Are Harry's instincts always right? Would you say that to Harry?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He's definitely had some wrong ones, but more on just this quest, I think, like with Bathilda.
Yeah.
And yeah. He's like, this is like my gut's telling me to do this. Like, that's wrong. But I'm assuming there's like big Horcrux power coming into play with that. But for the most part, he depends on his friends too, so it's like kind of like a group think. That's like maybe always right. You gotta run that past your friends first. But yeah, I think that's good advice for him. He probably needs to hear it. And I feel like Lupin was talking about himself too. Maybe like it's good that you like left me. Like he's kind of like solidifying that in his mind, or like a subtle thank you for not taking me with you.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was like a little subtle line. So if Harry's listening, he kind of knows. Yeah. You did the right thing. All right, let's go to chapter 23. You have anything else? He's
related to the Peverells?
Yeah, isn't that pretty crazy?
That is crazy. So who was that guy again? The
Peverells, they're the original owners of the Hallows.
So that's Gaunt or somebody?
No.
Oh.
The Gaunts were related to the Slytherin, Salazar Slytherin.
The Gaunts are related to Slytherin. Okay, so where did Peverell come in then?
They're just like a random name that's thrown in right now. So they were potentially, like, people think that they were the first three owners of the Hallows. They were their brothers in the tale, were the Peverell brothers.
So how did he get to the point of realizing that they're related?
I don't actually know.
Because that was something where he brought in Dumbledore, was like, Dumbledore had the cloak, my mom was there, and then he was like, I'm related to them. That didn't sink into me. That didn't make sense.
I think it was just through the cloak. It was passed down, so according to legend, Ignotus, the father of the Peverells, passed the cloak on to his son, who had a daughter, and they just passed it on. So Harry's dad passed it on to Harry. So I think he's maybe just assuming that he's an heir of the Peverells, like has a broken line.
Gotcha.
Because I don't know how much that. I mean, like, to be honest, it's a little crazy to think that wouldn't break a line. Because like if I know Harry Potter, I feel like everyone at Hogwarts knows Harry Potter has an invisibility cloak. I'm probably gonna like go sneak through his stuff and go steal that invisibility cloak. That thing is sick. I want that. Yeah. And then it changes lines, you know. It's a little weird to assume that it hasn't changed.
And the fact that they know where it's been for, I don't know, 20 years, that's like proving that it's the really strong one.
Yeah, agreed.
That can't be defeated or something.
Yeah. Malfoy Manor, chapter 23.
Yes.
They get caught. They go to Malfoy Manor. All hell breaks loose. And at the end, our very own Dobby dies.
I knew that was coming. I didn't know when, but I was not surprised.
Yeah. Sad one.
So he dies like at Bill and Flair's. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, at Shell Cottage.
That's so nice. Shell Cottage.
I know. That's
like Maine.
I've told this. You've heard me talking about this one before on the season 1. The mecca of all Harry Potter places is Shell Cottage.
Oh, really?
The filming location.
I feel like, did you send me a TikTok of that? Like somebody went there? That's
someone
crazy.
Went there and they dropped stones there. I probably sent you that during your first.
That's like very nerdy.
It is.
No, that was
nerdy.
Like recently.
Really?
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Oh, because you already knew Dobby died, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you go there and there's like stacks and stacks of stones of people leaving memorials for Dobby.
That's wild.
It is wild.
Is there like somebody's house there?
No, I mean the Shell Cottage house might be there, but it's just essentially dunes that they have. I don't know if they like built a house or CGI or something like that. It's a very nice location though.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, there was one thing before in chapter 22 that he's like saying that in his little vision, Harry's vision into Voldemort's mind, he's seeing a skull.
Okay.
So I was like, maybe that's a dark mark. Huh. Is that what that's called? The thing in the sky?
Yeah.
No, that's not. That's the dark mark?
The skull and the snake is a dark mark.
What's the thing on their arm called?
Well, no, that's the dark mark, but they're
both the dark mark?
Yeah, they're both. So you like cast the dark mark into the sky.
Yeah.
To scare people.
So the thing on their arm is the dark mark? It's like a skull?
Yeah.
That would be a cool tattoo.
That would be. Some people have that tattoo.
But I was like, maybe the skull is that in the sky, and then it comes up later that like the whole Muggle family died, and like Ted and the other guy, everybody's caught. So I was like, either it's that, like those people dying, and then Harry said, "Oh, there's skulls everywhere in the Slytherin common room." So like maybe it's like something to do with Slytherin, but that was my only little thing. It's like a little foreshadowing moment I thought maybe it was the dark mark.
I like it. Yeah, the dark mark would be a cool tattoo, though. I agree.
That's like very interesting, though, what you're standing for when you do that.
And it wouldn't be a tattoo. You'd have to brand it on yourself because it's a brand for them.
Branding is so cool, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. 100%.
Ooh, I don't know if I would ever get a brand.
I don't think I could like withstand that, but I've watched so many videos of people doing that.
You have
cool scars.
You have a thing for pain.
I do. Love pain. I'm just kidding. I don't, but I guess I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no way to know. Everything's relative. There's one more thing is he's like looking out in the, like he's usually just thinking and ruminating about the Deathly Hallows, but then there was like this one thing that it's like the smell of the hyacinths or like whatever thing it was, and I was like, every time he mentioned like a flower before. It's like he was thinking about Ginny.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder if he's just like having a moment thinking about Ginny instead of Deathly Hallows.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that he came out of that too. That like these little smells give him memories of these people that he loves.
Homesick.
I know, for real. This is his girlfriend.
Yeah. Okay, now into the Malfoy Manor. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, that's great. This podcast is all about your journey. So. He's having this not flashback. He's having this vision, and in this vision, the person says this: the emaciated figure stirred beneath its thin blanket and rolled over toward him, eyes opening in a skull of face. The frail man sat up, great sunken eyes fixed upon Voldemort.
Oh, that's the skull.
And then he smiled. Most of his teeth were gone. So you have come. I thought you would, one day. But your journey was pointless. I never had it. You lie. What does he mean that he never had it? So if this is Grindelwald, what does he mean that he never had it?
He's probably lying.
Okay, so yeah, he's potentially lying. Okay. Why would he lie?
Because he's reformed himself in his old age.
Oh, prison has actually worked then.
Is he in prison here? Like, where even is this?
He seems like he's in prison. Yeah.
Azkaban?
No, he's actually in a different prison, Nurmengard, which is the prison that...
Nurmengard? That sounds real.
It is.
What do you mean? It's real?
Nurmengard. Well, there's a town in Switzerland called Grindelwald.
Oh.
And that town... I don't know if it has a place near it called Nurmengard. But that... So, I'll give you a little sneak peek into Grindelwald, because she wrote like some story after it. This guy created a prison, and he was going to put his enemies in this prison when he, like, you know, rose to power, and he didn't rise to power, and then he himself went to this own prison. So, like, he created this prison, and he's inhabiting the prison because he's terrible now. But maybe the rehabilitation has worked, and he's, you know, finally lying about not having the Elder Wand.
I just don't know, like, what he would gain from giving it to Voldemort, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, why would he just be like, oh yeah, here's the most powerful wand in the world? Like, I don't see that happening. But maybe he really didn't ever have it, and, like, that whole dream thing was wrong.
Okay.
And it wasn't him, but I think it is him, because I think you said it was him.
Okay.
Unless you really are, like, lying to me now. That's probably why I miss so much, is because, like, I just don't even when you tell me something that's, like, canon, I'm like, I don't know.
Like, there is something that you've missed right here that would piece everything together for where the wand is, but I think you've just missed it.
Really?
And it's not crazy.
Is it, like, obvious to everyone else?
No, it's not. Oh. It's like a niche, not a crazy niche thing, but if you were reading these books with crazy diligence and you heard the name Grindelwald before, you're like, I know that name. And then you figure out where it's from, and you realize, oh, that's where the Elder Wand is.
Is it, like, in book 1 or something on, like, the frog cards? Is it? Can I go run and grab the first book? Oh my gosh! Because I know, like, they name drop a lot of people in the beginning of the series, like, way in advance.
Okay, go quick. Grab the first book. I'll let you have this, because this is going to be a fun journey. Okay. Yeah.
Where is it?
Is it not there?
I got it. See, like, this is the diligence I wasn't willing to do.
Yeah, there's a different level of intensity of reading.
Am I looking at the frog card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look at the frog card.
See, I knew that. I did know that.
That was impressive. I was glad that you pulled that out of nowhere.
Okay, where would the frog card be? Oh, here's Ollivander. These are cool. What?
Oh yeah, someone gave me that. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
Ollivander believed the best wands had cores of powerful magical substance, expertly inclusive, especially so. Okay. The vanishing glass.
It'll be in the Hogwarts Express chapter. Hogwarts Express.
Oh, it is one. The Journey from Platforms 9 3/4.
Might be, yeah.
That's the train one.
Yeah, whatever the train one is.
Okay, let's read.
She's gonna read the whole chapter right now.
No. Albus Dumbledore. Defeat of the Dark Wizard Grindelwald, 1945. Discovery of 12 uses of dragon's blood. Alchemy.
Alright, so put that together.
That was it? That's what I'm
That was
going
it.
off
That's
of?
what you
I
should
thought
go
there was a
off of.
Grindelwald one. Okay, let me really read this. Albus Dumbledore, currently headmaster of Hogwarts, considered by many the greatest wizards of modern time. The greatest wizard of modern times, Dumbledore is particularly famous for his defeat of the Dark Wizard Grindelwald in 1945. So Dumbledore has the wand. How does
the wand pass down?
Through, like, defeating
Yeah.
them? So Albus had the wand, and that's how he defeated Grindelwald? Or Grindelwald, is there, like, 2 wands that are very powerful?
Okay, is Rita's story correct? Did Grindelwald just put out a white flag and then hand over the wand to Dumbledore? Does Dumbledore have the wand?
Yeah.
Alright.
Wait, what did Rita say again?
She thinks that the duel was that Grindelwald just put out a white cloak. This duel was legendary. Everyone knows about this duel. It's the greatest duel that's ever existed. It's ever happened. And she thinks it wasn't. She thinks there weren't a lot of witnesses, and Grindelwald just put out his white flag out of his wand, and Dumbledore won the wand.
Why would Grindelwald do that, though?
We don't
Was
know.
he, like, remorseful?
We don't know.
Give me more.
I can't really give you more because I don't even know.
Do you know what's right?
I know more about some stuff on this that I can't really, like, share. But, we don't know anything about the duel, really. There was... Okay, so I'm going to give you a slight spoiler. But this is a spoiler for the... Not for anything in Harry Potter.
In so long.
I know. This is a spoiler for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Okay.
Which is the new movie series that came out. They were going to come out with 5 movies in this series. The whole series kind of flopped a little bit, so they only came out with 3. This series is going over Grindelwald's rise to power.
Okay.
I think they're pretty decent movies. I think they're kind of, like, fun and enjoyable. The last movie, Dumbledore and Grindelwald have a duel. And it didn't seem all that great. It wasn't all that impressive. Dumbledore didn't seem to have won the wand. And they ended the movies with 3, so I think for them they, like, decided that this was going to be the duel of legend, which it really wasn't, because he still had the wand at the end. So you're like, they were planning to make 2 more movies after. Grindelwald has the wand at the end. So they were planning to make 2 more movies after. So most people think that in one of those movies they were going to have this huge, crazy wand battle between them, and they just, like, abbreviated that and threw it in one of the Fantastic Beasts movies.
So you think Grindelwald just, like, gave it up?
I don't know. I like, honestly, I just don't know. I think that it was more like, I don't know. I don't even have a headcanon on that. I'll have to think about that and get back to you.
'Cause you like Rita, right?
Yeah, I think she's cool. I think she's a good journalist. I mean, not a great, you know, she lies about a lot of stuff, but...
I'm confused. So Dumbledore has it.
So, yeah.
But Dumbledore... Okay, so that's Grindelwald on the floor, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
not, like, Dumbledore
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's Grindelwald on the floor, yeah.
He never had it, though.
Yeah, so he's
lying.
So you're thinking he's lying. And then Dumbledore won it from him, so it's with Dumbledore.
Did his wand get buried with him?
Yes.
Do not tell me they have to go dig up Dumbledore's grave to find the wand. That would be awful.
Grave diggers.
Do they have to do that?
I don't know.
They better not. That's like wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe they can just like Accio wand from.
It just pops out of the stone.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Or they buried like a fake with him.
Okay.
Maybe that was in his will. Don't bury the wand. Or they did something like under the radar and like quick switch the wands before
Okay.
the funeral.
Okay. We'll talk about this more at the chapter 24.
McGonagall like still
chapter
isn't
is all
in
about
this
that.
book at all.
I know, nothing. Which is a bummer
I
because we
miss
love
her.
her.
Yeah.
I know. I know we miss McGonagall. Okay. Back on this chapter, Malfoy Manor. Draco doesn't identify them.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because he understands that he's on the wrong side.
Yes, I love that. Okay.
He wants Harry to defeat Voldemort.
Okay.
I think what Dumbledore said really got to him. And his heart like wasn't fully in it for the Dark Lord, but now I feel like he's just kind of getting abused and used. So I think he's more
sick of it.
Yeah. He wants it to end.
That'd be great. A little Draco redemption story going on. Love that.
Yeah, but I mean, it was so obvious, like, who the other people were that there's no way.
Yeah.
And why didn't they just, like, undo the jinx that Hermione did? Like, that seems pretty basic. Because Hermione jinxed Harry's
Honestly, yeah.
face.
It's like kind of dumb that they didn't just be like, hey, let's fix this real quick. It's a little short-sighted.
Mm-hmm.
Although when they're like in this little tussle and battle, it says she stopped struggling. Her dark eyes fixed upon something Harry could not see, jubilant at her capitulation. Lucius threw her hand from him and ripped up his own sleeve. Stop! Shrieked Bellatrix. Do not touch it. We shall all perish if the Dark Lord comes now. Why was Bellatrix so freaked out?
What do you mean?
So, this is the, like, to paint the picture. They kind of recognize this as Harry Potter. They're about to call the Dark Lord. Lucius is about to touch his little forearm and call the Dark Lord. And then this is the line that you got again. She stopped struggling, her dark eyes fixed upon something Harry could not see. What can't she see, and why is she calling off the call for the Dark Lord?
I don't know. You can't see it? What is she looking at?
So, okay, so I mean, she's
Dobby?
looking at the sword, which is what we kind of get later. Because she's freaking out over how these guys got this sword.
Oh, because then it's like she didn't do her job well. Like, she thinks it is in her vault at Gringotts.
Okay. So does she think that she's going to die if Voldemort comes and realizes that she didn't do her job well and it's not in her vault at Gringotts? But is this is this the real sword?
This is the real sword.
Okay, so this one's the real one.
Yeah.
So
how else would it destroy the Horcrux? Unless, are you saying, like, Dobby quick, like, switch them again or something?
Yeah, is it possible? Is it possible to even get in a vault at Gringotts?
If you're a goblin.
Okay.
And there's goblins with us in the room here. I don't know, maybe, like, since the Ministry's fallen, Gringotts security has budget cuts.
Alright.
I didn't think that it was the fake one. Just because it was, like, with them.
Yeah.
Like, when would that swap have taken place?
Yeah, for sure. You don't know, like, when it would have happened. But she's freaked out because she thinks that they were in her vault, and she thinks that she didn't do a good job, so she would die.
Yeah.
Okay. Another part that we get says Hermione's screams echoed off the wall upstairs. Ron was half sobbing as he pounded the walls with his fists, and Harry, in utter desperation, seized Hagrid's pouch from around his neck and groped inside it. He pulled out Dumbledore's snitch and shook it, hoping for he did not know what. Nothing happened. He waved the broken halves of the Phoenix wand, but they were lifeless. The mirror fragment fell sparkling to the floor, and he saw a gleam of brightest blue. Dumbledore's eye was gazing at him out of the mirror. Help us, he yelled out in mad desperation. We're in the cellar of Malfoy Manor. Help us. The eye blinked and was gone.
Crazy.
What is that?
Dumbledore.
Is he alive? Or is this a window to the dead?
I don't know. I feel like it could be either of those options. Like, if he's alive, I'm gonna be mad that he's not with them.
Yeah, agreed.
But I don't understand the magic of like making a mirror into death.
Yeah.
So I think he's not. I think he's dead. I think he's dead still.
Okay.
But the mirror is like he can.
Showing. Okay.
Like he still has magic. Like he's off the earth, but he's in some like little other place that he can just like do magic still and help.
Is it possible that this isn't Dumbledore? This is just Harry's mistaking this is Dumbledore.
I mean, he's pretty sure it's Dumbledore just because it's a blue eye, but like,
Yeah.
is there not other blue-eyed people in the world?
Agreed. There's probably plenty of people with blue eyes in the world.
And many of them living.
Yeah, agreed. So who else could this potentially be? I mean, we don't know anybody with
I don't
blue eyes,
remember any eye colors. Lockhart.
Lockhart, and then he sends Dobby. Lockhart's really been good this whole time, imagine.
Dobby has yellow eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who else has blue eyes. Mad Eye.
Yeah.
It's just Mad Eye's eyeball.
Yeah. He sees all. I feel like he would not mistake Mad Eye's crazy eyeball with
No, it's definitely like, I think it is Dumbledore.
Okay.
But it's funny how he just desperately asked for help and he like knew that something was going to happen.
Yeah.
And also he tried his snitch, which is kind of sad because he's seen that Ron and Hermione's bequeathals both have purpose and they're helpful, and then he's like desperately trying to get his to help and he has like nothing.
Yeah.
So I feel like he probably feels a little betrayed too in that moment.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about Peter Pettigrew's arm?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. That's crazy.
Isn't that a weird one?
Didn't Draco have the arm at some point too?
Oh, no. Okay, so Draco had something different called the Hand of Glory.
Okay, what is the Hand of Glory?
The Hand of Glory is an item that is in Borgin and Burke's, and it's like a candlestick that if you hold it, it's like a hand that holds a candlestick. If you hold it in your hand, it only gives light to you.
Okay.
It doesn't give light to anybody else around you.
And then the arm thing is like a bionic arm.
The arm thing is like a bionic arm, yeah. So when he cut off his hand to give the flesh of the servant to resurrect Voldemort, Voldemort paid him back by giving him this arm.
So
this bionic arm.
Does the arm just do like what Wormtail wants, or does like its master's bidding? Still, it's like for Voldemort more than it's for Pettigrew.
It's supposed to do Pettigrew's bidding. It's supposed to just be like an extension of his arm.
Why does it kill him?
It kills him because he owes Harry a life debt. So this is like deep magic at work, which is kind of cool.
Was it gonna do that even if Harry didn't say like you owe me? Would that have happened? Because Harry like brings that up.
That's a great question.
And then the arm is like, uh-oh, psych.
Because there have been times in the past where this debt could have been repaid again, and it wasn't. And this is the only moment. So potentially when Harry like actually speaks the phrase "you owe me," maybe the hand realizes, and it's like, all right, well, let me kill him. Let me do this bidding here. So there might be magic in the actual words. I don't know. That's a great question. Great question, actually.
Crazy. It's nice that he's like out of the way though now.
I know.
Don't have to worry about him anymore.
Hate him, I know. Can't stand Pettigrew.
I wonder if they could have taken the arm and like it would have been helpful to them.
That's a little gross.
Just collecting objects.
You're talking about it being gross, going to someone's grave. You're cutting off someone's arm now.
It's not a real arm. It's like a bionic arm.
You're like Rocket. Have you seen the Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
Oh, come on. There's a scene where Rocket Raccoon, the raccoon guy, he's like, he takes like a bionic leg for a person, or he makes someone else go get a bionic leg for the person. He's like, I don't even need that. I just was hoping you would go get it, just like, for kicks and giggles. And that's like you just go getting arms from
it could
people.
be helpful. You could just chuck it at people and maybe it starts choking everybody.
That's great. Here is another line that we get. At last, there was a peculiar grinding noise from above. All of them looked upward in time to see the crystal chandelier tremble. Then, with a creak and an ominous jingling, it began to fall. Bellatrix was directly beneath it, dropping Hermione. She threw herself aside with a scream. The chandelier crashed to the floor in an explosion of crystal and chains, falling on top of Hermione and the goblin, who still clutched the sword of Gryffindor. Glittering shards of crystal flew in all directions. Draco doubled over, his hands covering his bloody face. As Ron ran to pull Hermione out of the wreckage, Harry took his chance. He leapt over an armchair and wrested 3 wands from Draco's grip, pointed all of them at Greyback, and yelled, "Stupefy."
Yeah.
The werewolf was lifted off his feet by the triple spell, flew up to the ceiling, and then smashed to the ground. Nice.
So good. I hate Greyback so much. He's
right?
gross.
He's
one of the grossest characters
agreed.
encountered so far.
Agreed. He might be my least favorite of everyone in this book.
Yeah.
As far as maybe just as far as like grossness is. He's just icky. Like, I hate Umbridge so much because she's just unbearable. I hate Voldemort. Hate Bellatrix. But he is just like next level, just creepy.
Yeah. I remember saying about Umbridge that she's like a better villain figure than Voldemort, and I feel like that's with Greyback. What's his name?
Yeah.
Greyback?
Yeah.
I think that's like with him too. Like, if there was a whole book about him, that would be excruciating. Like, he's on par with Umbridge as being like very villain.
Agreed.
Gross type of person.
Agreed. It's brutal.
And he's like a werewolf all the time. Is he a werewolf right now? He just looks like it.
No, he's not a werewolf. He can only be a werewolf at a full moon. He positions himself in places so he can bite children.
But he just wants to bite children all the time, though.
Again, which is very pedophile coded. I think he's a pedophile in this book. I think she underwrote that, which is good. I'm glad she underwrote that because I don't want to know the dealings about a pedophile. But he's a pretty creepy dude in this book.
Yeah, I agree.
But he's maybe a bit more rough when he's not in werewolf form, and he's a little weirder. But yeah, it's a strange dude. But at the end of this, the tiny elf trotted into the room, his shaking finger pointing at his old mistress. "You must not hurt Harry Potter," he squeaked. "Kill him, sissy," shrieked Bellatrix. There was another loud crack, and Narcissa's wand flew into the air and landed on the other side of the room. "You dirty little monkey," bawled Bellatrix. How dare you take a witch's wand? How dare you defy your masters?" "Dobby has no masters," squeaked the elf. "Dobby is a free elf, and Dobby has come to save Harry Potter and his friends." And then when they transport and they disapparate and learn he's dead, it says, "Dobby, no, don't die, don't die." The elf's eyes found him, and his lips trembled with the effort to form words. "Harry Potter." And then with a little shudder, the elf became quite still, and his eyes were nothing more than great glassy orbs, sprinkled with light from the stars they could not see. Dobby.
Dobby's so sweet.
I know.
I'm gonna miss him.
You really go from hating him in the beginning in the second book to coming to love him.
Yeah, and I love how he makes his appearance in this book, and then he's like the key piece of this all working, and then he just dies.
Yeah, I know.
Just from a knife getting chucked at him.
I know, it's devastating.
Can they not like save him with magic?
Honestly, there's a great point in this book where you're like, why don't they try to save him with magic? It's ridiculous.
I think a lot of stab victims survive.
Yeah. I mean, he's smaller,
unless,
so maybe that's
that's
like a massive gash going through you.
Yeah.
That's like a huge sized sword going through me. But still, I'm like, magic's got to be able to save that. Snape did some weird magic to save Draco from the slashing wounds. So I'm like, why can't you do that with Dobby? Or like disapparate real quick to, a hospital and bring him a house elf and be like, don't ask any questions, but fix this thing right now.
It's a weird looking kid,
Yeah.
Find the Phoenix.
Yeah, right.
Make the Phoenix cry on him.
That would have been great. But Dobby's dead.
But no, he must die.
So sad.
How many more people die in this book?
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Who do you not want to die?
Everyone?
Who do you think's gonna die?
Everyone? I don't want anyone to die. I mean...
Okay, give me your top 5 list of people that you do not want to die.
Okay. McGonagall.
Okay.
This is hard because I don't want any of the trio to die, and that only leaves one more.
No, just put the trio as one.
Okay. Trio, I want to live. McGonagall. I literally want everyone to live. Ginny, Neville, Dean.
Okay.
All of the Weasleys.
Okay.
Tonks and Lupin. I want... Like, Mundungus can die if he's still alive.
Okay.
Any of the Dark Wizards can die. Like, I want them to die. Voldemort can die. I don't want Creature to die. Winky can die.
Who do you have any ideas?
I don't want the goblins to die either.
You don't want the goblins to die?
No, I kind of like the goblins.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna say that might change because the goblins are a little nasty.
Okay.
But
for now, they just feel like pretty chill.
Yeah.
Hagrid, don't want to die.
Definitely don't want Hagrid to die.
Sprout. Any of the good people.
Every character Lizzy doesn't want to die.
Yeah. I mean, why would I want anyone to die?
Yeah, agreed.
That's like the worst thing that could happen. I would feel bad if Draco died, honestly. I would feel sad.
Because he's kind of, he's like, doesn't have his full redemption, but he's like, coming around.
No, I think it's more like his parents that are,
yeah,
like forcing him into all this stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Anything else in this chapter?
That's it. Well, thanks for joining us on our journey of Harry Potter and the Second Time Reader.
Bye.
See ya.
No. We don't want anyone to die.
I don't want anyone to die.
We'll see, though. I'm very excited to do Star Wars with you now.
Are you gonna buy Legos?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm excited.
I'm like thinking about like building like a table too, so we both sit there. We can have a table where we do Legos on.
Just
like a big one.
decorate the entire living room.
Yeah, legitimately.
Just for the sole purpose.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll get like a mirror there, so like have the reflection of the TV on the recording.
I'm excited. I have not like built any of like the new nice Legos. I've done some, but.
Well, do we want to get one big one or 2 for both of us, and we can both do our own?
Do one big one, I think.
Okay.
We can just work on like separate parts too, because their bags are all separate. I don't know. Is it hard to do 2 in the same one?
I don't think
Whatever you want.
I've done it with my nephews before. It's fun.
Look at this little guy. You're so perfect, Wes. Are we still live?
Yeah, but we're about to not be in 1 second.